Morning, 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 morning. Welcome to SVL 2.0. Welcome to a brand new morning. My name is Gary Parrott. I'm the executive chairman for the SVL group. Used a CPAP last night, got a lot of oxygen, so I'm on top of the world. At this point, do we have a quorum?
Chairman, I confirm that we have a quorum.
Yeah, so today we're going to do things a lot different, and you'll realize as we go along. So, board of directors, shareholders, company secretary, regulators, our external auditor, PwC, special guests, members of the media, and everyone who has joined us remotely via live stream. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Morning.
And welcome to our annual general meeting. We always look forward to this opportunity to reflect on our performance over the past year and to share our plans for the future with you. During today's session, we will give details of our 2025 financial performance, as well as provide insights on our strategic initiatives and goals as we head into our 25th year of operation. Can you imagine? 25 years, big up SVL. Our AGM notice along with the proxy form and all accounts and reports necessary for the conduct of this meeting were published on our website. The JSC's website circulated via email to our shareholders for whom we have email addresses for, and by registered mail to shareholders without email addresses. AGM advisors are also published in our local newspapers. Shareholders may view a copy of last year's AGM minutes on our website. I wish to introduce the company secretary, Ms. Diane Reed, and ask that she confirm that the required quorum of shareholders has been met.
Chairman, I confirm that there is a quorum for today's meeting.
Well done. We have a meeting today, guys. Thank you. I now propose to call the meeting to order and move that the notice of the meeting be accepted and taken as read. Seconded by? All don't second at one time. I need a seconder. Aidan. You have shares? Aiden is our IT expert. Big up Aiden. I now put a motion to the meeting. Please signify by raising hands. Those in favor? Those against? I declare the motion carried. I now invite Krista Gay Fisher, CEO of Supreme Ventures Services Limited, to offer a word of prayer. Krista?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, as we gather today for our annual general meeting, we seek your divine wisdom and blessing upon this session. We lift up the entire Supreme Ventures group in prayer and ask that it may flourish and grow in ways that honor both our commitments to stakeholders and our calling to serve the broader community. Grant us the vision to operate with a deep sense of care for creation and a strong commitment to serving our communities. Lord, we pray for clarity and moral courage for those entrusted with leadership responsibilities. May our choices reflect truth, ethical conduct, and your divine guidance as we chart our path forward. We ask for your protective care over all who contribute to SVL's mission, each and every member of Team Supreme, our loyal retailers and customers, and our partners whose efforts make our shared success possible. Finally, we humbly ask for your continued blessings and guidance as we navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead as our company expands. We place our trust in you, Lord, and ask for your grace and blessings upon this meeting and upon our company. Amen.
Wait, there's only me who wants to say amen. Amen. Thank you, Krista Gay. I want to recognize and thank the members of the main and subsidiary boards for their dedicated service to the company, and recognize the following directors who I may ask to stand when I call their names who are here this morning. Our legal counsel, Lance Hilton. Clap him, man. The style lady, Earline Anderson. Make sure you take out her meme and learning about wealth. Nicholas Mute. Brent Sankar. I believe Christopher Berry is online. Oh no, he's here in his red bow tie. And the one and only, Leighton at night. Let me acknowledge those directors who are unable to physically be present with us, but have joined remotely today. David McConnell and Christina Mute. Apologies on behalf of Peter McConnell, Duncan Stewart, and Usain Bolt, who are unable to be present at this meeting. I'll now ask the members of the SVL team in the audience to stand and be recognized. SVL. Not sure who you are. Clap them. They're the reasons we make all this money. I wish to recognize the 2025 auditors, PwC, representatives from the Stock Exchange, representatives from our regulators, representatives from Bright Star Lotteries, and our technology partners, as well as other specially invited guests. Welcome and good morning. Our primary reason for being here is to reflect on our 2025 performance. However, as you have now come to expect, we saw it as an opportunity to not only tell, but to show you the vibrant universe of Supreme Ventures Limited. As shareholders, it's important for you to see, feel, and experience all the brands, products, and services that make up the Supreme Ventures Group. From our online gaming solutions and platforms and our self-service kiosks, which I hope you guys try at the back, to our fintech solutions, SVL is continuing on our journey of developing into a true technology company, and we hope you will feel that this morning. If you haven't yet done so, please visit our Supreme experience at the back of the room. My favorite is the crash game in the corner to the right. Try it out. Everyone should have received a Supreme Scratchers ticket. Scratch them for a chance to win a cash in a flash. But wait, there's more. If you don't win on the instant card, you have a second chance to win something special. Write your name on the back of your non-winning ticket and drop it in the box provided, and stay till the end for a surprise. I would usually begin my presentation at this point. However, as we morph into SVL 2.0, it's all about change, and we'll start the change with this AGM. This year, we're going to give you the opportunity to hear the auditor's report when you're fresh, and vote on our resolutions when you're even fresher. Once those have concluded, the main presentation will begin. In short, we're flipping the script this year. I will now ask Kevin Powell from the audit firm PwC, Chartered Accountants, to read the auditor's report for the accounts of the year ending December 31st, 2025. Kevin, we're out now.
Pleasant good morning to everyone. I hear that you're fresh, so hopefully I don't bore you to death. So I'll try to read as fast as I can. The Independent Auditor's Report to the members of Supreme Ventures Limited. In our opinion, the consolidated financial statements and standalone financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated financial position of Supreme Ventures Limited and its subsidiaries, and the standalone financial position of the company as at 31st of December 2025, and of their consolidated and standalone financial performance, and their consolidated and standalone cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with IFRS accounting standards and with requirements of the Jamaican Companies Act. What we have audited. The group consolidated and standalone financial statements comprise the consolidated statement of financial position as at 31st December 2025, the consolidated statement of comprehensive income for the year then ended, the consolidated statement of changes in equity for the year then ended, the consolidated statement of cash flows for the year then ended, the company statement of financial position as at 31st December 2025, the company statement of comprehensive income for the year then ended, the company statement of changes in equity for the year then ended, the company statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statements comprising material accounting policy information and other explanatory information. The basis for our opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the consolidated and standalone financial statement section of our report. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. We are independent of the group in accordance with the International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, issued by the International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants, as applicable to the audits of financial statements for public interest entities. We have also fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with that code. Our audit approach. As part of designing the audit, we determined the materiality and assessed the risk of material misstatements in the consolidated and standalone financial statements. In particular, we considered where management made subjective judgments, for example, in respect of significant accounting estimates that involve making assumptions and considering future events that are inherently uncertain. As in all our audits, we also address the risk of management override of internal controls, including, amongst other matters, consideration of whether there was evidence of bias that represented a risk of material misstatement due to fraud. We tailor the scope of our audit in order to perform sufficient work to enable us to provide an opinion on the consolidated financial statements as a whole, taking into account the structure of the group, the accounting processes and controls, and the industry in which the group operates. Key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the consolidated and standalone financial statements of the current period. These matters were addressed in the context of our audit of the consolidated and standalone financial statements as a whole and informing our opinion thereon, and we do not give separate opinion on these matters. We have determined that there are no key audit matters as it pertains to the standalone financial statements in our report. We have identified one key audit matter that related to the group. This was in relation to goodwill impairment assessment. Goodwill accounts for $2 billion or 9% of total assets for the group as at 31st of December 2025. Management performs an annual impairment analysis over the goodwill balance. The recoverable amount of cash-generating units have been identified based on value in use calculations, which results in a higher recoverable amount when compared to the fair value less cost to sell valuation model. The key assumptions were assessed by management as being pre-tax discount rate, terminal value growth rate, and EBITDA growth rate in the terminal year. We focused on this area as the assessment of the carrying value of goodwill involves significant judgment, estimation uncertainty, and is sensitive to changes in key assumptions. How we responded to this key audit matter. Our approach to addressing the matter with the assistance of our evaluation experts involved the following amongst others. Evaluated the accounting policy for any material changes, evaluated management's discounted cash flow model, including qualitative and quantitative analysis, and updated our understanding of the process used by management to determine value in use of cash-generating units. Agreed the 31st of December 2025 base year financial budgets to current year results and compare previous forecasts to actual results to assess the performance of the business and the accuracy of management's forecasting. Tested management's key assumptions as follows. The pre-tax discount rate, evaluated the reasonableness of management's determined rate by developing an independent expectation of the rate. Terminal value growth rate, evaluated management's terminal value, whereby we developed a range of parameters using available market inputs and historical information and performed sensitivity analysis using these parameters to determine the reasonableness of management's assumption. EBITDA growth rate in the terminal year, compared the growth rate to historical EBITDA growth and evaluated management's estimated future growth rates, which included an assessment of management's business plans. Tested management's impairment model calculations for mathematical accuracy and considered the sensitivity of the calculation by varying the key assumptions and adjustments within management's forecast. Auditor's responsibility for the audit of the consolidated and standalone financial statements. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the consolidated and standalone financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is a high level of assurance, but is not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with ISAs will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. Misstatements can arise from fraud or error and are considered material if, individually or in aggregate, they would reasonably be expected to influence economic decisions of the users taken on the basis of these consolidated and standalone financial statements. As part of an audit in accordance with ISAs, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. We also identify and assess the risk of material misstatements of the consolidated and standalone financial statements, whether due to fraud or error, design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks, and obtain audit evidence that is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than one resulting from error, as fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omissions, misrepresentations, or the override of internal control. Obtain an understanding of internal control relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the group and company's internal control. Evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies used and the reasonableness of accounting estimates and related disclosures made by management. Conclude on the appropriateness of management's use of the going concern basis of accounting, and based on the evidence obtained, whether a material uncertainty exists related to events or conditions that may cause significant doubt on the group or company's ability to continue as a going concern. If we conclude that a material uncertainty exists, we are required to draw attention in our auditor's report to the related disclosures in the consolidated and standalone financial statements, or if such disclosures are inadequate, to modify our opinion. Our conclusions are based on the evidence obtained up to the date of our auditor's report. However, future events or conditions may cause the group or company to cease to continue as a going concern. Evaluate the overall presentation, structure, and content of the consolidated and standalone financial statements, including the disclosures, and whether the consolidated and standalone financial statements present the underlying transactions and events in a manner that achieves fair presentation. Plan and perform the group audit to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding the financial information of the entities or business within the group as a basis for forming an opinion on the consolidated financial statements. We are responsible for the direction, supervision, and review of audit work performed for the purposes of the group audit. We remain solely responsible for our audit opinion. We communicate with those charged with governance regarding, amongst other matters, the planned scope and timing of the audit and significant audit findings, including significant deficiencies in internal control that we identified during our audit. We also provide those charged with governance with a statement that we have complied with relevant ethical requirements regarding independence, and to communicate with them all relationships and other matters that may reasonably be thought to bear on our independence, and where applicable, actions taken to eliminate threats or safeguards applied. From the matters communicated with those charged with governance, we determined those matters that were of most significance in the audit of the consolidated and standalone financial statements of the current period and are therefore the key audit matters. We describe these matters in our auditor's report unless law or regulation precludes public disclosure about the matter, or when, in extremely rare circumstances, we determine that a matter should be communicated in our report because the adverse consequences of doing so would reasonably be expected to outweigh the public interest benefit of such communication. Other information. Management is responsible for the other information. The other information comprises the annual report, but does not include the consolidated and standalone financial statements and our auditor's report thereon, which is expected to be made available to us after the date of this auditor's report. Our opinion on the consolidated and standalone financial statements does not cover the other information and will not express any form of assurance conclusion thereon. In connection with our audit of the consolidated and standalone financial statements, our responsibility is to read the other information identified above when it becomes available, and in doing so, consider whether the other information is materially inconsistent with the consolidated and standalone financial statements or knowledge obtained in the audit, or otherwise appears to be materially misstated. When we read the annual report, if we conclude that there is a material misstatement therein, we are required to communicate the matter to those charged with governance. Responsibilities of management and those charged with governance for the consolidated and standalone financial statements. Management is responsible for the preparation of the consolidated and standalone financial statements that give a true and fair view in accordance with IFRS accounting standards and with requirements of the Jamaican Companies Act, and for such internal controls as management determines is necessary to enable the preparation of consolidated and standalone financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the consolidated and standalone financial statement, management is responsible for assessing the group and company's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters relating to going concern, and using the going concern basis of accounting unless management either intends to liquidate the group or the company, or to cease operations, or has no realistic alternative but to do so. Those charged with governance are responsible for overseeing the group and company's financial reporting process. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. As required by the Jamaican Companies Act, we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purposes of our audit. In our opinion, proper accounting records have been kept so far as appears from our examination of those records, and the accompanying consolidated and standalone financial statements are in agreement therewith and give the information required by the Jamaican Companies Act in the manner so required. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this independent auditor's report is Kevin Powell, and our report was dated the 27th of February 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Boy, that was short. Ready? The Director's report and audited accounts for the year ended 31st December 2025 have been circulated. They have been in your hands for the customary period, and I ask that the meeting take them as read. Shareholders, we move to the business of the meeting. I will now ask that the Secretary read the first resolution.
Resolution 1, that the audited group accounts for the year ended December 31, 2025, and the reports of the directors and auditors circulated with the notice convening the meeting be and are hereby adopted.
Will a shareholder move this motion? Can you rise, state your name for the record, please? Josiah Williams. Will a shareholder second this motion? Livingston. Livingston Young. So that is why you're so excited? God bless you. Can't make sure you share a little bit with me. Give me a little commission. No worry, me take a little bit of commission too. I now put a motion before this meeting. Please signify in the usual way by raising hands. Those in favor? Those against, I declare the motion carried. Before I speak to the second resolution, I would like to acknowledge our honorary Deputy Chairman, Mr. Ian Levy. Could you please stand, sir, and be recognized? Just update Ian and the people who are coming in. We'll flip the script. We normally have a presentation, and then we do the business of the day. We're doing the business of the day first, so everybody's fresh, and then we go to the presentation. We're at Resolution 2. I now ask the Secretary to read the second resolution.
Resolution 2, that the interim dividends of 17.39 cents per stock unit paid on June 19, 2025, 26.93 cents per unit paid on September 18, 2025, 18.94 cents per stock unit paid on December 30, 2025, and 2.93 cents per stock unit paid on March 31, 2026, be and are hereby ratified and declared as final on the recommendation of the directors, and that no further dividend be paid in respect of the year under review.
Thank you. Will a shareholder move this motion? Lancel Bloomfield. Will a shareholder second this motion? Got that? Repeat again, Marva. No, spell the last name. Dilmore. I don't put a motion before the meeting. Please signify in the usual way by raising hands. Those in favor? Those against? You're against? Sorry, you're against. We have noted your vote. You're just supposed to tell us that you're against. You're not supposed to make a comment. We note your vote, sir. When we get to the question and answer, you can always pose a question, sir. Thank you. Winning the prize don't give you the rights to everything. I declare the motion carried. And I pause again. One of the most important cogs of SVL are retailers. And I've seen some retailers here. SVL retailers, can you stand and identify yourself? Our good friend Hiru Menilek. Hiru is a recent shareholder. We have different retailer meetings, and he's so enamored by what we're doing now. He has bought shares and is now officially fully part of the family. And Hiru is an example of the retailer of the future. Hiru pays us on time. He doesn't owe us money. He has all of our products and is one of the top retailers in the Kingston and St. Andrew region. So Hiru, I welcome you as a new shareholder, and I acknowledge you as one of our great retailers and a friend. Good morning. Resolution 3A. In accordance with Article 103 of the Company's Articles of Incorporation, Ms. Christina Mute, having been appointed as a director since the last AGM, shall retire and, with being eligible, offer herself for election.
Christina Mute, retiring pursuant to Article 103 of the Articles of Incorporation, be and is hereby elected.
Will a shareholder move this motion? Got that? Will a shareholder second this motion? They're ahead of me. Who?
It's elected.
No, it's elected. See?
It's correct on the notice.
No. She was appointed a director because she was not at the last AGM. After her appointment as a director, she has been retired in keeping with our articles and been offering herself and making herself eligible. She has put her name forward for this AGM and for the shareholders of the company to vote her back in formally as a director. In short, following the governance of the company, she was vetted, confirmed, and appointed a director. The Jamaica Stock Exchange was informed, the public was informed, but it's the agent of you, the shareholders, that had put her and made her a director. In keeping with the articles of the company, at an annual general meeting, you, the shareholders, would have to officially appoint her. So because she was already a director, she has retired in keeping with our company's articles, and offering herself, she's now formally being put to you, our shareholders, if you in your right see so, to vote her on as our newest and youngest director. Can I get a shareholder to second this motion? Oh, the activist, Denise, the woman and for woman rights. What's her last name?
Williams.
All in favor? Those against? I declare the motion carried. Well, since it's a trend, one of our greatest partners as we celebrate our 25th year is our lottery software providers. I would ask the members of the Bright Star team to stand and be recognized. Well, no, clap them. These are the guys and girls that make the lottery works. They provide a myriad of services, and primarily what we do is just to collect the money, but they make it work. And we thank them, and we look forward to having a wonderful relation, continuing relation with them. They have a thing with names. They started as G-Tech, then they became IGT, now they're Bright Star, which I think is the most appropriate thing, especially when you look at those three lovely ladies. Sorry, guys. Thank you again. We love you. We appreciate you. I'll ask the secretary to read the resolution.
Resolution 3B,
Yep.
that Mr. Christopher Berry, retiring pursuant to Articles 105 and 106 of the Articles of Incorporation, be and is hereby re-elected.
Oops, my bad. That's why you mash up the people and thing. I was supposed to say, in accordance with Articles 105 and 106 of the Company's Articles of Incorporation, the directors retiring from office by rotation are Messrs. Chris Berry, Nicholas Mutte, yours truly, and Mrs. Ereline Anderson, and being eligible offer themselves for re-election. The Secretary shall now read resolutions 3B and 3C. Your turn.
That Mr. Christopher Berry, retiring pursuant to Articles 105 and 106 of the Articles of Incorporation, be and is hereby re-elected.
Will a shareholder move this motion? Will a shareholder second this motion? Hey. Those in favor? Those against? I declare the motion carried. Mr. Berry, get back at work.
Resolution 3C, that Mr. Nicholas Mutte, retiring pursuant to Articles 105 and 106 of the Articles of Incorporation, be and is hereby re-elected.
Will a shareholder move this motion? Wesley Thomas. Will a shareholder second this motion? Nicola Barrow. Those in favor? Those against? I declare the motion carried. I will now invite the chairman of the audit committee, Mr. Leighton McKnight, to chair the proceedings. Mr. McKnight, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Just to avoid any perceived conflict, our chairman has stepped down that he doesn't influence the vote. Yes.
Resolution
3D, can you read?
Resolution 3D, that Mr. Gary Peart, retiring pursuant to Articles 105 and 106 of the Articles of Incorporation, be and is hereby re-elected.
You have heard the motion. Can I have a shareholder propose that motion? Nicola Barrow, a seconder. We have a proposer and a seconder. Those in favor, unanimous. Any against? Unanimously carried. The shortest job I've ever had. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Don't worry, I pay you well. The Secretary shall now read Resolution 3E, the style resolution.
That Mrs. Ereline Anderson, retiring pursuant to Articles 105 and 106 of the Articles of Incorporation, be and is hereby re-elected.
Will a shareholder move this motion? Will a shareholder second this motion? Those in favor? Those against? I declare the motion carried. Get back at work, Ereline. Looking resplendent in green, I must say. I now ask the Secretary to read Resolutions 4A and 4B.
Resolution 4A, that the directors be and are hereby empowered to fix the remuneration of the Executive Director.
Will a shareholder move this motion? Will a shareholder second this motion?
Denise.
Blessings, Denise. All in favor? Any against? I declare the motion carried. 4B.
Resolution 4B, that the amount shown in the audited accounts of the company for the year ended December 31st, 2025 as remuneration of the directors for their services be and is hereby approved.
Will a shareholder move this motion? Cara Leslie. Will a shareholder second this motion? Got that?
Last name? Okay.
Those in favor? Those against? I declare the motion carried. The Secretary will now read Resolution 5.
Resolution 5, that PricewaterhouseCoopers Chartered Accountants, having agreed to continue in office as auditors, be and are hereby appointed auditors of the company to hold office until the conclusion of the next annual general meeting at a remuneration to be fixed by the directors of the company.
Can a shareholder move this motion? Will a shareholder second this motion? Those in favor? Those against? I declare the motion carried. That's it. Thank you. So the official business of the day has been concluded. So if you need to run off, you can run off. But we have some additional stuff. As we reflect on our performance for the past year, we are reminded that 2025 was both a test of our resilience and a testament to the strength of Supreme Ventures. Despite significant external challenges, including the impact of Hurricane Melissa, the group delivered solid financial results, sustained growth across key segments, and demonstrated the agility and discipline required to navigate disruption. We continue to stand on the pillars of which we built our 5-year strategy: continuous innovation, global expansion, and delivering shareholder value. These 3 directional strategies remain relevant and important to our continued success. Our ability to respond decisively, protect our operations, and continue delivering value to our stakeholders underscores the strength of our strategy, our people, and our governance. As part of our continuous innovation strategy, we have deepened our presence in the financial services space. After the granting of our remittance license in late 2024, we spent 25 expanding our footprint in the fintech space and taking even more steps to deliver additional fintech products and services. Importantly, our strategic investments in expansion, particularly into overseas markets, continue to track positively and reinforce our long-term growth agenda. We're pleased to advise that IBET SV Ghana was profitable in 2025 and is on trajectory to remain profitable in 2026. And the liquor clappings. Have a big up to the team, especially Eldon. We're making a necessary adjustment to scale to increase the rate of profitability. These efforts are directly aligned with our commitment to delivering sustained shareholder value to our shareholders as we diversify revenue streams and position the company for continued competitiveness in an evolving global landscape. We know that with great success comes great responsibility, and so we will still place emphasis on our philanthropic endeavors, further strengthening the SVL ecosystem and the relationships that have made the brand iconic. Of course, like most Jamaicans, we too felt the impact of Hurricane Melissa, even up to today as some of our retailers remain shuttered. People forget that this is the most powerful hurricane to have ever hit any country in the world. While it knocked us off our positive trajectory, as at the end of 2025, our results demonstrate that as we enter our 25th year of operation, SVL remains a resilient company, one that our shareholders can be confident in. This morning, I'm pleased to share with you the results of our year of resilience and look forward to our ongoing technological evolution. 2025 started with SVL recovering from the economic impact of another hurricane, Beryl. The group ended 2024 with net profit of $1.77 billion, a 27% downturn when compared to prior year. Our focus at 25 was clear, to reverse the decline and deliver better results for our shareholders. At the end of Q3, the third quarter of 2025, we had already surpassed the full earnings for 2024, and we were on track. And we were on track to produce a record profit for 2025. But they say that lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, but hurricanes don't seem to know that rule. In Q4, Jamaica was hit by Hurricane Melissa, that we now know is one of the most intense tropical cyclones to make landfall. The devastation to our island, especially the west, has been well documented. Over 30% of our retail network was disrupted, and economic activity across the island curtailed significantly. I'll tell you a quick story about when people got serious, was when they heard that cash pot draw would be suspended. That's when they said, boy, this hurricane really serious, because not even Bolt could have stopped it. Nothing could have stopped the draw. And seriously, guys, when people heard that, a lot of people started to make preparations, because it was a signal that this thing was serious. But more importantly, implicitly, it demonstrated the strength of the brand, because people felt that no matter what happens, your cash pot draw is sacrosanct. Based on our experience responding to Beryl in 2024, the team was able to use the learnings from that experience to mobilize swiftly to not only support the members of Team Supreme who were affected, but also respond to our retailers and ensure business continuity. We've had several retailer meetings throughout the year, and all of these retailer meetings that I've attended, I start by thanking our retailers, because I've always been proud of them, but I've never been more proud of our retail network in 2025. Hurricane Melissa really showed the strength of that network, not just in how we service the community, but the majority of our retailers, including people like Hero, they really stepped up. I mean, they reached out to their customers, they were providing assistance, providing help, not just with cash. And it was just amazing, the reports we got across the country about how well and how generous our retailers were to the people in their community. I want to publicly acknowledge them and thank them. I mean, Hero is here. I mean, he is one of those that has been just amazing. And it just shows the type of family that we have and what we cultivate. But at the end of the day, the numbers are the numbers. You know, notwithstanding the setbacks, the company saw a modest 1.3% of actually increased profit over last year. Was a commendable effort. The creditable performance, considering the circumstances, was buoyed by a 7% increase in gross ticket sales. The segment recorded results of $114 billion, a $7.8 billion increase over 2024, demonstrating that our products remains Jamaica's favorite games. The increased ticket sales in our core gaming segment contributed to the increase in total winnings from $75 billion in 2024 to $82 billion in 2025. Operational efficiency continues to improve as the group maintains a strong focus on cost discipline. The OPEX ratio declined to 6.8%, reversing the upward trend recorded in the 2023 and 2024 numbers. We continue to put the vast majority of our earnings back into the Jamaican economy. In 2025, the group paid over $8.2 billion. Is that right? $8.2 billion. $8.2 billion in fees and taxes to the government, multiple times our profitability. Government hasn't made an investment, they don't provide any undue incentives, and they're making 8 times the money that we make. That sounds like a great deal for the government. Clap them, they did a great deal. A portion of these fees are directed to the Chase Fund and represents over 90% of their overall funding, which goes back to funding national projects in culture, health, the arts, sports, and education in communities island-wide. The performance of our share price experienced a decline, reflecting the general performance of the Jamaica Stock Exchange in 2025. Our shareholders earned 70 cents per share with a total dividend amounting to $1.8 billion. The core of our business, the lottery segment, experienced a decline of 9.25% when compared to 2024. This is attributable, big word, to the impact of Hurricane Melissa in Q4 and the increase in prize payout. Despite this decline, the segment remains a cornerstone of the group's operations, contributing over 2 times the segment profit of the other segments to date. In the meantime, sports betting continues to deliver strong performances. The segment saw revenues increase from 16 billion to 17 billion last year. So that shows you the robustness of that segment line, in that despite the hurricane, you're still able to get a $1 billion increase in sales. We're going to come back to that. After the investments made in refreshing the gaming floor and enhancing the customer experience at Acropolis in 2024, the lounge continues to experience growth. Revenue expanded by 270 million year over year. Our video lottery terminals also experienced a slight increase in revenue, despite the segment being the most significantly affected by the disruptions of Hurricane Melissa. Overall, our customers continue to stay loyal to our brands and reap the rewards with bigger overall total payouts. We're pleased to share a short video featuring some of the top prize winners of 2025. Congratulations to all our winners. SVL remains committed to the business of horse racing and to date has invested over $3 billion in Caymanas Park and its related ecosystems since the leasing of the operations in 2017. This investment is far in excess of the $500 million that was stipulated in our contract with the government. The SVRL team has done a good job in continuously improving the operations of Caymanas Park for the good of Jamaican racing. Are there any members of SVRL here? Any small members of SVRL here? Mr. Solomon Sharp, Executive Chairman of Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment. Welcome, Solomon, and we thank you for the work you've been doing. Last year, the park was not spared from the hurricane's impact. Several off-track betting locations were shuttered, resulting in revenue loss. Race meets were canceled, and there was some infrastructural damage experienced at the park, all resulted in losses in excess of $150 million. Despite ongoing investments and a focus on improving efficiency at Caymanas Park, the entity remains unprofitable. That's what I was supposed to say. That's what you all expected me to say. That's what all of Jamaica wants. And at this time, I will ask the Executive Chairman of Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment to stand and to come here on the stage. Mr. Sharp. Stand in the middle, sir. The fact is that for the first time probably ever in the history of a horse racing track in Jamaica, Caymanas Park, a subsidiary Supreme Ventures Race and Entertainment Limited, that leased the horse racing track, recorded a profit for the first time. I want to be the first to congratulate Solomon and his team. It's been a lot of hard work. We have gotten a lot of fights, but ultimately, when you have a man like Solomon, you just need to stand behind him because he covers a lot. But he's not a machine, he's human, and I just wanted to publicly thank him. Most importantly, I don't think there is a better or greater story for a corporate turnaround in the history of this country than what has happened at Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment in 2025. Solomon, on behalf of the shareholders, I thank you. You're my friend, you're my colleague, you're my chairman. We wish you all the best. Please stay healthy, and we look forward because, in corporate, enjoy this time in the limelight. By the time you go and sit down, you'll get a WhatsApp. You need to double it next year. Bless up, Sal. If you want to say a couple words, there's a mic open. If you want to say a couple words, sir, the mic is open.
When you come to these things, you're supposed to come with prepared speeches, right? I didn't even know all of this was happening. But I have to thank Gary, the entire main board, my Supreme Ventures board, my entire team, everybody that's here. I believe from day one I said I believed in the whole shared services thing and that we would figure this thing out. It was very complex. The government ran it for 50-something years, and you know how that can go, and it was very difficult, As Gary mentioned, the fights with the stakeholders, and
Who we love and love us.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I made some big promises in 2020, February, and then by March we were shut down with COVID, but we never gave up. We went back on the drawing board, and we found a lot of nuggets in the 3 months that we were off, and all of these things are now paying dividends, as we'd like to say. So it's not easy. It's still a hard fight. We're doing well again this year, and we're just going to continue to serve the stakeholders at Caymanas Park and do our part in making sure, as I said in 2020, to play our part in sharing for the shareholders for Supreme Ventures. So just wish us luck and just root for us behind the scenes. It's a very tough job with hurricanes and COVID and all the different things.
You know I get an increase.
We don't have enough horses. Thank you.
Bless up, Solomon. Big him up. As his agent, I will take. As his agent, I'll take all requests for turnaround artists. I mean, as I said, Solomon now is the biggest corporate turnaround CEO in the country. We believe in the horse racing industry, especially one that contributes heavily to the community and the Jamaican economy in general, and still see Caymanas Park as a fit in our gaming portfolio. Whilst it was profitable for 2025, it was a marginal profit. Solomon and his team has put in place certain strategies to make that sustainable and grow. And the reality is that both the park and Supreme Ventures would be better served if the park is fully divested to Supreme Ventures so that we can take it on an effective modernization and profitability path. Hey. Notwithstanding the challenges, revenues actually declined last year for Caymanas Park. And notwithstanding the decline in revenues, purses actually increased, maybe marginally, but it increased. The highlight of the year was the fourth running of the Mute Mile Invitational, which features the largest purse in the English-speaking Caribbean. I'll pause here and ask the representatives and members of the Mute family to stand and be recognized. Yes, Jerry, you're going to have to stand up. The patriarch of the family, Javon, unfortunately, left us this year, but his spirit remains strong. And this was a big thing for him. And the Mute Mile sponsorship has been a revolutionary thing, not just in Caymanas, but across the country, for a family to give back at a level that they give back. You're talking an average of $500,000 US a year for 3-4 years. It's a significant philanthropic. See, I get a big word and can't get attributable. But I just want the public to state we really appreciate it. We really appreciate all the efforts and help that you have assisted us, Nicholas, Jerry, your dad, and family. So big up the Mute family. The Back to the 70s theme was a hit, and the race day generated the highest revenues recorded for a single day in 2025. Amazing. Being the Caymanas Park can do so many things, but not just the Mutes, but we've had several other sponsors, and enough big up to you guys as well. This year's Mute Mile is set for a 2-day race meet, December 4th and 5th, and the theme is Dancehall Glam. We hope to see you there. People take a lot of what has been happening out at Caymanas for granted, and you have some detractors, yes. But one of the things that impresses us is, or impressed me, when Solomon flew to New York and met with the president of Naira, he was surprised, because we were been writing to them, and he was surprised that somebody would actually come and see him. And, he said, Mr. Sharp, I like this. The fact that you're willing to, you didn't have an appointment, etc. You come, and he said to him, we're going to work together. And from that meeting, we broke history, and we had a horse race in Jamaica that was shown live in mainstream media in the United States. And last year, they actually showed 3 races. That's to show you that the product is not that you're there for a handout. The culture we're trying to change about how people see Caymanas and how people see our interaction with Caymanas. We're not begging you a fish. We know how to fish. We want to get our own fish. We're trying to build a sustainable ecosystem that you don't need no handouts, right? We want to stand on our feet and move accordingly. And every year that Solomon and his teams hit their targets, we get closer and closer to that objective. And I'll publicly make the appeal to all the stakeholders there, come on board, because the vision that we see, this is a business that will not only be sustainably profitable, but the stakeholders will earn significantly more than they're earning now. Accept and embrace the change. As we reflect on our resilience, and we also acknowledge our responsibility to give back to the communities that contribute to our strength and success, we're pleased to share a video showcasing some of the impactful initiatives undertaken by the Supreme Ventures Foundation last year, including the response provided in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. You know, one of the things I've always said to different employees across the company is that you need to have pride in your company. A lot of people think, you know, gaming and lottery is a negative thing. But the fact of the matter is that we don't think so. We think we are a major contributor to the economic growth and well-being of a lot of people. And, you know, through the foundation, through our normal activities, you know, we don't hide that we're here to assist and help people. And, you know, these videos show that. I mean, this is not even 1/10 of what we do in a given period. In fact, I was just troubling Heather a while ago about a matter, and she's like, you know, Chairman, you know how many events we have done since Sunday? And I'm like, okay, you don't need to be that touchy. But it's been 6 or 7. So we're constantly out there, and we put our brand out there. And, you know, I ask and implore you shareholders to speak about your company with pride, because we are very proud to work for the company. And we will continue to exhibit that pride as we expand, which you will hear shortly, into other areas. We've already completed the first quarter of 2026, and those results show that we have started the year headed in the right direction. We recorded a net profit after tax of $700 million, representing an increase of about 36% over prior year. Gaming income increased by 4.6%, signifying ongoing strength in our core operations. As a company, we're never complacent, despite our position as a market leader. This year is especially significant for us as we are celebrating our 25th year of operation in Jamaica, and SVL 2.0 has lots in store. This is our new logo for the anniversary. Heather, you want to come up and tell us what this means? Heather? So we're going to get the Miss Universe walk. Heather is a doctor from Mandeville, and her favorite things are Heather Golson, CMO for the company.
Good morning, good morning. It's lovely to be here this morning. So just a quick snapshot of what we're doing this year. We're celebrating our 25th anniversary. It will be June 25th. We have lots of great things in store. And as Chairman mentioned, this is our logo representing that, so you will see that all over starting in June. I think we have a video, Chloe? We don't have a video, all right. Yeah, so this is just the unveiling of the logo for the 25th. Thank you.
Welcome, Heather. That's our excuse to get us to spend more money on new branding and new shirts and whatever. So if you don't have the new logo, you're not saying a thing. Even while we celebrate 25 years of winning, we remain focused on our value of continuous innovation, and we'll be delivering more experiences and services to keep our customers engaged and entertained, and to continue to deliver value for our shareholders. Ta-da! One of our most anticipated launches of the year is here in the room with us today. Some of you may have already tried it here today. However, we are really excited to announce the start of the rollout of our new self-service kiosks across the retail network. That's that machine there. We're supposed to get a clap. Currently, these kiosks are being tested in our Twin Gate store and State Mall locations. However, you'll be shortly being all company-owned stores, followed soon by selected retailer locations across the network. We expect to see increased efficiency because, everybody who buys Cashpot, they don't want nobody to know them numbers, so they wait until the last minute. So it'll be easier. They'll have more options to bet at the last minute. And we expect significant cost efficiencies coming from the rollout of that. This is SVL 2.0 in action, ladies and gentlemen. A fast, convenient, secure channel that provides our customers with new service options. Please visit the kiosk if you have not already done so and give us your feedback. For those attending in person, you have had a chance to experience some of our products and get a glimpse of what we'll be rolling out in the future to enhance the retail store experience for those who play our lottery numbers and sports betting games. For those who ponder our vision for Caymanas Park and our continued interest in the property, the potential for the use of Caymanas Park as an entertainment space is tremendous. Our location, multiple access points, and the size of the property make the park a diamond yet to be unearthed. This summer, we'll be hosting an experience that highlights the versatility of the park while supporting another segment within the group. Starting June 12th, the Just Bet Gold Rush Tailgate Experience will be the first official Watch It Big at Caymanas Park event. Football fans can watch the FIFA World Cup 2026 on Rush Sports, the official broadcaster at Caymanas Park. All matches will be shown on the largest outdoor screen in the English-speaking Caribbean. Come out to at least one match and share in the vision of making Caymanas Park the hub for entertainment in a country that needs such spaces.
Wait for another replay or you're forward. That's still around?
Which side are you here to support? No need to choose. Just enjoy.
How all of this fit in the old bus here?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now making our descent to the Just Bet Tailgate Village.
So that's a synopsis. That is going to be shown as part of the whole marketing. And, you have the bandwagon bus, which all of us know about the bandwagon bus. And the beautiful thing about the bandwagon bus is that when you enter the bandwagon bus, you can always change. So you can start with Spain and end up with Brazil and ultimately change again and get to the end. But the key point is that it's SVRL is Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment. And this is our big push to move that side of the needle for SVRL at Caymanas, the entertainment side. And we believe we can make significant revenue as we build out that aspect of it. So again, as shareholders, please take the time, come out to the tailgate. It will be a very wonderful experience, and I look forward to seeing you there. At this point, I invite Delroy Anderson, who is the CEO for SVL FinTech, to come to the stage for one simple reason. I normally handle all these things, but I'm such a Gladys and an excitable person that I might get into trouble when I speak about it. So I've asked the line CEO to come and deal with it, right? Because that way I make sure I don't get into trouble and the company don't get into trouble. But I'm extremely excited about this presentation because this is truly the heart of SVL 2.0. There.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Chairman. Colleen.
At Supreme Ventures FinTech Limited, we believe financial services should empower lives. That belief started a journey of transformation powered by our robust transaction platform, beginning with Evolve Bill Pay, making everyday payments simpler. Then, Evolve Charge Up, keeping Jamaicans topped up and connected. We also launched Evolve Money Transfer in partnership with RIA, providing easy access to funds from family and friends. Each step building a stronger financial future. Now, the evolution continues with EvoCash, the digital wallet with a prepaid MasterCard, designed for how Jamaicans live, spend, and use money today. Supreme Ventures FinTech, your ecosystem for financial solutions.
Okay, so as you see in the video, the company, we're well on our way to transforming the company to become what we call a technological company, a transaction company. We know we interact with 400,000 Jamaicans almost every day, and we have the widest distribution network of any company in Jamaica. So all these services are meant to take advantage of all those benefits, of all those assets that we have as a company. So just a little bit of what we're doing additionally. To focus on the strategy of transforming the company technologically, we're moving to divest our brick-and-mortar retail portfolio to focus on a digital lending solution, which will complement our wallet. Along with that, we launched last year our bill pay solution, and we have the 4 major billers in Jamaica on, and we're looking to add this year about 100 additional billers to that platform to enable reach for our customers who now have to spend money to take a taxi to go to the nearest town center to be able to pay all those utility bills. We're going to offer those directly to consumers in the shops that we have on our stores. Additionally, we got from the BOJ our remittance license in 2024. And to date, we have 57 approvals for locations from the Bank of Jamaica. We're active in 33 locations island-wide. And our ambition for the rest of this year is to have to get to 80 locations where remittance services can be provided to our constituents or our customers. Again, taking services closer to consumers that we serve with our games every day. And the big one, Colleen,
too many apps. Too many steps, too much back and forth. Pay a bill here, send money there, top up somewhere else. It's a lot. Now imagine this instead. Everything in one place. Your cash, your cards, your payments, one app. Pay bills in seconds, send money instantly. Shop online or tap in store.
Draw from hundreds of multi-link AGMs island-wide.
Cash in and cash out at select Supreme Ventures retail locations whenever you need it. No switching, no hassle, just done. That's what a digital wallet should be. And now it is! Introducing EvoCash, your all-in-one digital wallet with a prepaid MasterCard that's ever ready for every team. Exclusive early access coming soon!
EvoCash digital wallet with a prepaid MasterCard is being tested in Bank of Jamaica's FinTech regulatory sandbox.
Again, to me, this is maybe the most exciting time for Supreme Ventures in a long while. Personally, I'm very excited because can you imagine the 24% of Jamaicans that currently do not have a bank account having access to financial services through this product? We have 400,000 people that come to our stores every day. A lot of them are what we consider unbanked. And we're empowering them with this product to be able to spend money anywhere in the world. We're backed by MasterCard, a trusted brand, and we believe that with this, we'll be able to get a strong foothold in the economy. So where we are today, We have been approved, certified by MasterCard, so we have a live product that's ready to go. We're in the Bank of Jamaica regulatory sandbox, we call doing the pre-testing. We're expecting to do live testing starting in June, and by the end of June, we'll be introducing this product to the market. Of course, we want to start with our shareholders first, so we're encouraging you. There is a QR code at the back. We're asking you to scan that. And as soon as the product is ready to go live, we're going to introduce it to you and have you become the first of customers to be able to carry this product forward. All right, thank you, and looking forward to exciting times again. Chairman?
Getting started with EverCash is easy. All you have to do is download it from the App Store or Play Store. Open it and select Sign Up for Digital Wallet. Make sure you have your TRN and ID card on hand. Enter your personal details to include your name, email address, and then choose a password. You will then need to retrieve the activation code sent to you via SMS. You will also be prompted to create a 4-digit PIN. Keep this safe. This will be needed to access your account and complete transactions. Next step is identity verification. Follow the instructions to snap a photo of your government-issued ID, then follow the steps to take a quick selfie video to verify your identity. Just like that, you're done. Leave the rest to us. Once approved, your account and digital prepaid MasterCard are ready for use right away, so you can start to do business. Need to pay your bill? Just tap Pay Bills. Select your biller, enter the account information and amount, then confirm the payment. Quick and easy. EverCash, ever ready for everything. For more information, visit www.evolveja.com. The EverCash digital wallet with a prepaid MasterCard is being tested in Bank of Jamaica's FinTech regulatory sandbox.
So, there you have it. So everybody in the company know me as a man of story, right? And I will share a couple of stories before we get to the questions. So the fact is that I really want to take this opportunity, to big up my board of directors and consultants. What you see here today has come out of meetings that started over 6 years ago. It's a strategy that your board embarked upon. We never expected it would have taken this long. There have been different hurdles, regulatory, natural disasters, whatever, etc. And the end result of it is that, the reason I thank them is because they were able to persevere, not just with me as the chairman, but the team that has been a huge part of this. And we had some tough times. Again, as shareholders, the entity that Delroy is CEO of, currently has unrealized losses close to $1 billion. Is how much money it has cost us to get to this stage. In fact, a story, as you can imagine, Delroy came and whatever the hurdles were, we won't get into them. And one day he came and you saw the look, and I was like, don't worry about it. Because you got another hurdle. And I'm like, don't worry, we have full faith and confidence in you. We have full faith and confidence in your leadership. We're all businessmen. We understand that things just don't go straight through to the sky. But we have now gotten to this point. What is this point? Why is this point important? Why do I have this smile on my face? Over the last 3 to 4 years, our core business has had to be supporting all of these ancillary business that we were giving birth to and coming out of, trying to crawl, much less to walk. And today, where we are today, is that all of them are now either walking or standing to walk. And what do I mean by that? The expectation is that by the end of this year, 90% of all the group subsidiaries will be cash flow positive. Why is that important to you as shareholders? It means that your dividends will be sustainable, but not only sustainable, they will now be going on a growth path, subject to hurricanes, of course. But we're now confident because what this wallet does, this wallet stitches together all the different aspects of the group. And this will drive increased cost efficiencies. It will drive new revenue streams. It's going to drive a level of profit that we have never seen in this business before. So over the last couple of years, we deliberately stepped back to strengthen the core, and the core is strengthened. The person I call in the middle of the night, I'm going to ask her to stand up, is not my wife, Nadani Chung, the CFO for the group. Nadani is tasked with making sure the cash balance. And I'm calling her every day, are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? And, you know, she and her team have been responsible for cleaning up our receivables issues. And I want to big her up. I see a couple of members of our team here, Shauna, etc. Stand, please, and be recognized. That was another hurdle that we overcome. And, you know, Nadani has confirmed that she has it totally under control, and I must stop calling her. But I'm a worrywart when I'm ready. But I stand here in front of you, shareholders. SVL 2.0 is ready. With this card, with this wallet, we will continue to broaden how we help to improve Jamaica. Jamaica has over 400,000 unbanked customers, people who can't access financial services. We believe with our plan and our products, we'll be able to reach each and every one of them and carry them into a space. And I'll give you a quick example. There are places like Amazon, Shein, etc. that we take for granted. Some of these people actually pay people to use their card to buy their products. And of course, some of them get robbed, etc. As of July, they no longer have to do that. They just need to sign up with us, and they'll get their own card, and they can shop on Amazon and Shein and the whole 9 yards as they please. We think this is a huge game changer. It's not just a game changer for the people of Jamaica, but also for you as shareholders, because we feel it's going to drive significant profits going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, the performance of 25, while not achieving the target set, remains encouraging and inspires confidence. We have weathered numerous challenges, and we're still profitable. I want to recognize every member of Team Supreme for the role they continue to play in ensuring we continue to make strategic moves to stay ahead of the game. My board, my team, my retailers, my customers, my country. We're also gratified by our continued strong sales, proving that we do offer Jamaica's favorite games, as demonstrated by the retention of our market share and increase in ticket sales. I'm happy to announce that based on the projections in May, we have now gotten back to the level of sales pre-Melissa. A month ahead of what we projected, but we're happy to see that our sales are back pre-Melissa. So we expect to continue moving in the right direction. By strengthening our infrastructure and capacity, we've been able to realize the latent potential of all our core traditional lines. Sports betting continues to see exponential growth. Our digital universe has expanded with multiple products and channels, and all KPIs are showing positive growth indicators. Ladies and gentlemen, we're now at our favorite section, where you're able to ask your questions. Please make your way to the standing microphones to ask your questions. As you begin, please state your name and whether you're a shareholder or a proxy. If you're a proxy, please state your name and the name of the shareholder you represent, then go ahead with the question.
Livingston Young, shareholder.
Yes.
You say the hurricane blow mash up most of your places that you have across the country. What are the plans to upgrade this place to the hurricane blow down? Mash up?
Excuse me?
The place, so the outlets where the hurricane mash down. So
Yes.
what are the plans to fix them again, upgrade them?
Well, we've articulated them prior, but what we have done is, we started first by providing resources to help them and the communities around them, Starlinks, etc. You know, our retailers, they don't like me to say this, but our retailers are not poor people. They do have resources of their own. And one of the things that's interesting, we've actually seen where some retailers in unaffected parishes reached out to those in the affected parishes and helped them as well. So it's just been a family effort. And right now, I think I would say that most of we're back to about 90% capacity. Even though the sales are back, we still have some retailers that are not where they should be. But we continue to work with them. And, you know, I want to pause and give you another story, because people are man of stories. When you ask that question, you know, coming out of the hurricane, one of the things that happened in the hurricane, you heard stories that there were people in the affected areas that couldn't get cash out of ATMs, whatever those challenges were. Whilst that was happening, we were getting cash from our SVL locations. So what that means, now that we are formally, or by July, would formally have a wallet and a digital solution, cash in, cash out, God forbid there's another hurricane, you will not likely, nobody will have that problem, because there will be an SVL location close by that you'll be able to get your cash. As long as you have a SVL card, of course, right? And so that's one of the things we're happy about, because people, if you need to step back and think about it. With our MasterCard prepaid card, you can use that anywhere in the world, because it's MasterCard. But more importantly, it's also hooked up to Multilink. So I think there are about 850 ATMs in the country. On paper, as to whether they're operational or not is a different story. You can use the card in those 850 locations. But in addition to those locations, SVL currently has 2,000 points of sale, meaning cashpot locations, just bet locations, post-to-post locations, and off-track betting locations.
Well, look at Mr. Chairman. You teach people how to use that. Most people understand how to use the wallet.
Yeah, but when I come to it, you ask me one question, I answer you, you're going to another question, right? So the point I'm making is that, you know, we have 2,000 points of sale. Not everybody will have the cash in, cash out, but a vast majority of it. So you could have a situation that if most of the retailers qualify, the network that SVL would have would be at least 2 times the existing ATM network, right? So you're talking about going into a location with a SVL cash in, cash out, and you can do any transaction you'd want to do. So that's how we're trying to improve everybody.
The next one I'm concerned about, Mr. Man, you talk about business, we love business, and business is our core thing. You know, as a shareholder, Cayman Spark, what are the plans? Because you know, say this is a big business you pass Saturday. What are the plans to grow Cayman Spark? To make it more initiative.
Well, remember in Livingston, you only ask general questions, right?
Yeah.
So even though the answers have already been given, because you're in the spotlight, you ask questions.
Yeah.
So we have put all the plans out there before, and you've heard some additional plans here. So the one that we have demonstrated today is that we're expanding the entertainment side. So we invite you out to Caymanas to come and watch the World Cup football on the big screen, 60 feet, right? So carry yourself and your wife or your little side chick and come watch the game. Carry the side chick them. All right?
Yeah,
so one more question.
Yeah. You can turn to page 133.
Yes, what does it say?
Note C3, financial. You have 2025 and 2024. Devaluation, revaluation. You there, Mr. Chairman?
I'm just listening to you, what you say.
The first one, devaluation of 1.5% of 8,019,000. And the other one, revaluation of 5,345,000. Get explanation of it, please. Revaluation, devaluation. This in is US.
What's the question?
Could you break down of the US dollars of revaluation and devaluation? 1.5% of $8,019 and the revaluation of 1% of 46,000. Can you explanation it, please?
Yeah, the explanation is there if you just finish reading it all. It's an audit requirement. Can we get the next question, please? Thanks, Livingston.
All right. Hold on. Turn to page. I want you to.
No, you have your questions up. Have a seat. You can come back later.
Yeah, all right.
Blessings.
Good morning, everyone. Carrie Tape, shareholder. Hi, sir.
Hi, Carrie.
Okay, so this has been asked and answered. So you have strategically commandeered the 2,000 outlets, your outlets, Multilink, the bank outlets. I mean, this is a coup.
No, we don't deal with coups.
Hear me out. But it is a master plan. However, when there was a move persons to electronic money, it was met with resistance. So Livingston asked a question, and that's why I said asked and answered. How are we going to change the mindset or educate or help the population to learn? Because this is massive. This is bills, this is remittances, this is... How are we going to... Electronic money has been around. I went to China 2018 and everybody, it was electronic money. There's no money. How are we going to educate our population that it's safer, it's faster, it's cheaper? How are we going to do that?
That's actually our secret sauce
Okay.
in terms of how it's going to do. There are several wallets out there. None of them have been successful. We're pretty confident that ours will be because of the body of information and our ability to execute. Yeah. What I will say to you, we actually operate a business in a country that is 100% digital, well, 99.9% digital.
True.
So we have a test case that occurs every day for us that we can just roll out here in Jamaica. So we see that it works, right? So what this does, for example, is, I was about to call his name and he appears. Somebody like Hero, right, a hard-working individual, his biggest fear is being robbed, and I believe you've been robbed at least once. And the reason he's robbed is because people know that he's a repository of cash and he has to move that cash. When we explain the benefits of this card and this wallet to Hero, the first thing I think that will resonate with him is that he will have less cash in his outlet and he'll make less trips to the bank to lodge money. And so therefore the probability of him dying from a robbery is now remote. So I think that is good incentive to come on board, right? So it's stuff like that it just makes sense. Everything in your life, Carrie, works for you because you have a need.
True.
Most people, unless you're rich and have too much money, you start to take up stuff that don't really matter, right? You should know this, you're rich, right?
Please.
But the reality is that we feel that people will see a need to have our wallet, our card, and with that, it becomes a win-win-win scenario for them, for us, for the ecosystem.
The last comment I'll make is that Supreme Ventures is a beloved company across the world. Across Jamaica. So is Caymanas, and all the products that you're rolling out just bring everything together. So congratulations on your performance this year, the board, the management, because to have come through and producing this level of profits, it's actually quite phenomenal when you talk about 30% of your outlets were wiped out. So congratulations, sir, and congratulations your entire team. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hero.
Greetings.
Greetings.
My question is, how can Supreme Ventures assist more retailers to become users of solar energy? My personal experience, I took my bill down from 200,000 a month to I pay about 80,000 a month now by buying a panel every month, a solar panel every month, and setting it up. I'm still not finished. I'm still in the process. But how could Supreme Ventures assist retailers to have that unit, a solar unit to assist them? And it helps in more ways than one, because JPS is not very dependable. And sometimes you lose from JPS, there's no current.
Yes.
But the solar assists me more than one time. When everybody else have current, I had current to do my sales.
Never sell
So you help in more ways than one if we could get assistance to go fully solar.
Okay, so I'll answer your question this way. So first disclosure, I personally own a solar company, right? But how SVL could help you, SVL has a strategic investment in a company called Dollar. And Dollar provides loans of varying amount for varying solutions. So SVL retailer could borrow from Dollar and help to finance the build out of solar. I agree with you, solar is indeed the way to go. As is usual, I mean, I'm always encouraged by how you go about doing your things, Hero, in that you see that it makes sense and you just take your time and you build on it. So every month or every 6 months you put in another panel, you put in this, and before you know it, you have all these savings. But as I said, it's an individual choice, and not every retailer is as enlightened as you are. But for those that are, you know, we can direct them to our microfinance entity, which is Dollar. That's the first way in which we can do it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, my brother.
Morning, Nicola Borrow.
Good morning, Nicola.
First of all, I'd like to say that even though it's minimal, Caymanos turning a profit is wonderful to hear.
It's not minimal, it's big.
Oh, it's big. Oh, I thought you used the word.
No, the fact that the actual profit is
Marginal.
small. But
yeah.
the fact
but the fact of that occurring is a big event.
Nobody has ever made profit there.
I know, and I remember your plea last year when it sounded like, hello, we need this. If not, it can't happen.
We're going to shut it down.
But it happened,
Yeah.
despite.
Yes.
So, congrats.
Thank you. The big man in the corner in the pink deserves all the credit.
However, I have two questions. Ghana, what's
Yes.
happening there? Can you give us a more
Sure.
specific
So
update?
I've always said, I think I've said last year, Ghana initially was a success from a value creating perspective. And I can say no. And I alluded to it a while ago. A lot of what we're doing in the fintech here, we've gotten a lot of the stuff from Ghana. Because Ghana is fully digital where that is concerned, right? Africa is so far ahead of the Western Hemisphere in digital. And people wouldn't really understand and realize that. I mean, people buy and sell stuff in the market. You can go in the market and buy fish and and they transact money over digital wallets. In terms of the business, as we indicated here, the business was actually, the business as in SVL provides technical service to the licensee. And so for 2025, the SVL subsidiary was profitable for the first time. So we actually got to profit for 2025.
Another profitable...
yeah, that's what I say.
Oh, wonderful.
It's going to be what you're going to see from here on. It's crazy. And then year to date, the subsidiary continues to be profitable. And now our partner, who is a licensee, recorded a small profit for, I think, the month of March or April, one of them. So what you're seeing is that we're growing it. We're very excited about Ghana. And again, Ghana is another strategic point. So the fundamental reason is there are 3 million people in Jamaica. There are 34 million people in Ghana. And the statistics I have so far, over 3 million Ghanaians have played our game in Ghana to date since we have started the business. Yes? And what we're looking at doing now is to scale it. So we currently have about 2% of the market. If we get to 5 to 10%, if we get to 10% of the market, we're making the same profits that we're making here in Jamaica as a group.
Gotcha.
Right?
Already it's more people than we have in Jamaica. From
Right, and so the reality is that, you know, you may wake up one day, because how the business works is that as people become aware and they start to play and they see the benefits of it, you just get a huge amount of people that start to play. And when they do that, you just get a massive amount of cash and a massive amount of profits. And so that's what, we're just trying to light that fire, pun intended. And whenever that fire is lit, if you're not a shareholder before that number come out, you're going to pay dearly to become a shareholder.
You've been saying that for a number of years, I may say.
Yes, but I've had a number of hurricanes, eh?
My other question is, everything in one app sounds quite exciting. However, when I go to certain places, digital wallets, you see a sign, we no longer accept digital wallets. So what is there on the other end for merchants to actually accept it? Online it's one thing, but locally, is that part of the market you're targeting, or it's more an online interact with different elements?
The beautiful thing about it, right? I mean, some people may think that we are a fundamental competitor to the banks and the financial. We're not. We're going after a market that they don't have, right? So we actually, to get this license, we actually are in partnership with a commercial bank, right? So we have an account that we use with them. So for us, you know, we have a lot of banking partners. They don't have to worry about us. We are going after a market that they either can't service or are not interested in servicing. So remember one thing, you know, SVL is probably the only company in Jamaica that makes a profit from $10. Our minimum bet is $10. So we have a platform where the costs and the fees are relatively low. And so therefore, bringing that set of customers that are not into the ecosystem onto our platform makes sense for them and us. And in a sense, it also helps the other commercial financial institutions, because when you bring them on, they now start to interact with them, but interact in a way where they can make money as well. So, you know, the app is one aspect of it, but they're going to be, in certain businesses, we're going to be agnostic, where when you come into the app right now, you will see mainly SVL proprietary businesses. You're going to get to a point where I can put your business in there if you pay me money, right?
Okay.
And you come into the app, and there will be other businesses that you can log into their stuff.
Oh, so it's all in the ecosystem?
Yes.
Ah, gotcha.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we're going to expand that. So remember, when you talk about, I've been saying stuff for years, right? Strategically, when we started this journey, we saw SVL as a transaction platform that had a gaming business built on it. And we said at the time, we want to put additional businesses onto that platform, right? What we never envisioned or expected is the process of getting to where we are today. Whether rightly or wrongly, there's certain approvals and stuff that takes time, and we underestimated that. But we're here.
Okay, congrats.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to it being profitable.
Yes, ma'am, that's the word for 26, sorry.
Yeah, I'm Marlon Lee.
Yes, sir.
So I was wondering if you, SVL is looking to diversify or enter other market like Trinidad, Barbados, St. Lucia, and own branches in those markets in the future.
Yes, so as you know, SVL is in Guyana. We're now in Ghana. We have several talks right across the world, most of the continents. North America, South America, Africa, parts of Europe, actually into Australia, Australasia, whatever it wants to call it. And so we are not short of finding expansion activities. But the point that Nicola made today is that, you know, if we can't see a path to profitability within a certain point in time, we won't take it on, right? Because what has happened is that I would say that we strategically went after certain things, and we were very optimistic that it would throw off significantly more cash. But what the journey has shown is that, and we wouldn't have known this, yes? We wouldn't have known of Beryl, wouldn't have known of Melissa, wouldn't have known of COVID, and most importantly, we wouldn't have known of the competition, which again just never made sense, right? All it served to have done at the time was to deplete the resources of the three entities. Knock on wood, we're standing here today because we have overcome that hurdle, right? So those are material hurdles that you have to adjust because this is what businesses are about. And that's why I said it's kind of tearful today because looking back on all of those things, because, you know, a lot of people like to see the end. But when things are tough, that's when you have to rely on people that are going to stand behind you, right? And shoot along with you as opposed to shooting you, right? So knock on wood, we've been able to do it. There are some tough times, but we came together and today is a positive and we move forward. So yes, we have a lot more expansion that can be had. But the reality is that there is significant additional profits that we can earn out of the Jamaican ecosystem. So for example, our top line sales have been impacted for the last 2 years, right? Beryl in 2024, Melissa in 2025. Those top line sales normally grow on average between 8 to 12%. And it's been basically flat. So hopefully you don't have another hurricane this year because you have a recovery year. And if we can go into 27 without it as well, you're likely to see a massive jump in your sales just from the fact that it's latent, yeah? And, you know, all of these other things, we've spent the money, we've hired the people, and we weren't able to get the revenue for a variety of different reasons. You know, knock on wood, we now can get the revenue. We now are getting the revenue. We're moving to a point where SVRL is profitable, iBet is profitable, FinTech is losing money, but now they're in a position to get their revenues. So coming into 27, they should be profitable full year. So all of those things are coming together. We've sold Evolve, which allows us to focus more on our business because Evolve was pulling a lot of capital because you have to give loans. So we strategically sold that to our microfinance partner so they can do that because they have the capital for that, and we now use our capital for these other things. So I think we're very well positioned, and what's required now is to execute. And the team has been able to execute in very, very dire circumstances. So nowadays it's much easier than it was then. So I expect them to do pretty well at it.
Okay, thanks for that insight. So my second question is regarding on the same topic of revenue diversification, regarding the casino market, because as you would know, like when people in the US, Canada, Europe, Asia, when they think about gambling, they think about going to casino in McCoy or Las Vegas or Atlantic City or elsewhere. So I was wondering if your team or the board has given any thought or done any research in terms of partnering with some of the five-star hotel chain on the North Coast and elsewhere, so that when people in the US want to go on vacation to spend their money, they can think about, like, Jamaica will be, you know, one of the top spots for them to go.
Yeah. So again, you know, you have people that look on certain businesses from outside. So everybody wants an airline, but you know, you're going to lose some money. Everybody wants a newspaper. And so people tend to look at a casino. But I would argue that probably 70 to 75% of a casino, their revenues come from the boxes, the video lottery machines or joker poker machines that you speak about. So the environment that we have here in Jamaica is that even though you have a framework for casino licenses and we have yet to open one casino, why would somebody drive to Hanover to play a machine when they can go to Heroes Bar and play the same machine, right? So the regulator is saying there are 32,000 gaming machines in bars right across the country, right? And so the success of a casino, I don't know how viable it's likely to be. I mean, for the people coming in that's not leaving a hotel, yes, but is that sufficient to carry them? I don't really know, yeah? You have some countries that have had casinos for a while, and the business of casino is a different type of business. So based on my analysis and information I have, right, there are only 2 casinos in Singapore. And the revenues from those 2 casinos is about 5 times the revenue of all the casinos in the United States, right? And then the casinos in Macau are 20 times the revenues in Singapore, right? So it's a business that has a lot of people, that moves a lot of people. As to whether Jamaica can create that ecosystem, I don't know. But the ecosystem as it is here, we have a gaming box business that is doing reasonably well. We have the opportunity to expand it because right now it only has about 4% of the market. And with the changes coming from the regulator, that's another growth area. And then we look at it. But in terms of a pure play casino scenario, I'm not too sure about it. And I conclude the answer by saying this to you. There was a time before my time as chairman of Supreme where Supreme Ventures had a strategy of putting Acropolis-type locations across the country. I think they ended up at about 3, Ian. There was one in Kingston, one in Portmore, one in Mobay. And it never worked. You know, the volume of people that was required, they didn't get it. So they closed, there was 4. They closed Portmore, they closed Maypen, and we sold Montego Bay. So, you know, it's a tricky business. But again, I'll close by saying to you, we have so much opportunity within what we have now. We really don't have the time to look at it, meaning that the amount of money we can make if we can really execute on what we have, we're good. And that's what we want to do between now and then, because what we are saying to you shareholders, we want to put the dividend back on a sustainable path where it's timely, it's growing, and it will continue to grow, right? And to do that, we have to continue to generate cash. You saw the first turnaround of that cash in 25, and based on the numbers for 26, we continue to generate more cash because the dividend in the first quarter was the first time in a while we got over 20 odd cents, and we're hoping to maintain a dividend above 20 and continue to grow going forward.
Just one final question. So regarding and thanks for that response.
Sure.
Yeah, very good. So regarding the share price, the market value share price.
Yes.
As you would know, it dipped for the last few months. You know, it was at, like last year, it was trading at $20, and now it's went to $15, $14. Yeah. So I'm wondering, as your team or the board consider doing anything to actually, drive up the share price?
Your share price is a function of market forces, right? And so I would say there are 3 things that created the issue in the share price. The number one issue is that we had a former large shareholder that has sold, I think, about 170 million shares since June, July of last year, which is kind of a testament to the liquidity of SVL, because for somebody to sell that amount of shares in such a relatively short period of time is pretty good. And the reality is that if somebody is selling, and you're buying, you want to buy as cheap as possible, right? So you have that issue. You also have the fact that Melissa, as Livingston said, mash up 30% of the country, right? So you have to come back from that. So the country is not able to spend as much as it should. So the market hasn't been as vibrant. And then the other thing I would say is SVL's consistent payment of dividend, has been kind of spotted because of that, right? So Beryl came, it impacted your revenues, you're not generating them as much cash, so your dividend is not as high. The same is true of Melissa. So you had those 3-4 factors come together. The good news is that, that shareholder has basically concluded their sales, and whatever is left can be cleaned up in one transaction. It's evidenced by the fact that the stock reached $13, I would say, a month ago. As we speak, it's trading at $17. So it has rebounded. If you look at what the true value of this company is, it's materially more than $17. Nicola keeps saying, I keep saying it. But the reality is that if you get something cheap, buy it, right? And so it's not management's role to focus fundamentally on the share price on a day-to-day. Their role is to hit their targets. You, the shareholder, have to look on what people like I say on the numbers to make a determination, yeah? And as I said, in terms of where we believe the business is going, in my opinion, I think $17 is very cheap. Read into that as you see, and we go from there.
Okay, thanks.
Well, what say Livingston? Buy it when it's cheap, because when it go up, it can't buy. Buy low. I think, 13 gone. I think 17 is here. I don't know how long it's here for. No problem, brother. Any other questions? My brother, Ansel.
Pleasant good morning or afternoon.
It's still morning. It's 11:55.
Pleasant morning, sir. 3 quick questions. Lancel Bloomfield, your shareholder. Mr. Chairman, page 148, note 11. Mr. Chairman, in 2024, your bank charges was 162 million. And in 2025, this line item has climbed to 139,560 million. Please give us some clarity as to what, in particular, these charges apply to.
I thought you'd be congratulating my team.
Congratulations.
That's the answer. I mean, if we can reduce bank charges in these times, it's an amazing thing. No, it's just our attention to cost compression. So we've just restructured how we interface with the bank, and it led to a reduction in the charges. We're continually looking at all our expense lines and seeing how we can pull them in. And one of the things for 2025, you'll see that a lot of the expenses for 2025 were much reduced. We couldn't control the revenue, but we can control the expense.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, in relation to Caymanas Park, are you able to increase the numbers of race days? And how profitable is the simulcast racing going for you?
So, race days, yes, we can increase it. We can increase to anything. What drives race days is the amount of horses on the property. And, we have reduced race days, I think, from 88 to 80 now, fundamentally, because we have less horses on the property. So when we took over Caymanas, we were just a promoter. At this point in time, I would say we're one of the largest importers of horses now. We're trying to fix that problem. We're trying to have more horses, because when you have more horses, you can have more starts. Because the horses can only run so many times within a given period, right? I think we have about 1,000 horses. It's down from 1,200, and which is why we had to reduce the number of race days. So far, it's now become a business line where we go and buy horses and sell back horses. And Solomon and his team has done pretty well at that. We're booking profits on that. But more importantly, those horses that we buy, we have 2 of the best horse pickers in the country, which is Philip Fiani and Jason DaCosta. And so, we have developed that culture where you don't have to go. We can go, we get the horses, and we sell. And the fact of the quality is that at last year's Moutier Mile, the horse that won Ride All Day, and I think the horse that came third, Supernatural Power, were actually purchased by SVREL and sold to third parties in Jamaica. So it speaks to the quality of the selection. What we now need to do is to expand the ownership base, or to encourage the expansion of the ownership base, so that they can buy more horses, so we can buy more horses. Yeah. The horse population when we came was a bit older. When we look on the numbers, I think there's been an increase of about 200, which, people say a lot of things, but I've always said to people, look at the action. So at Caymanas, you have more people buying and importing horses than ever before. So that's a signal that something positive is happening because we are buying and selling, and other people are buying and selling as well, which is why we've seen over 200 horses come in. But to conclude the point and the answer, we have to do much more. We have to find better ways to bring in more horses. We have to find more owners to come into the place. This is what we're doing. We now have a scenario where every Saturday we invite people. Anytime you're ready, Lanzel, you can come, we can eat food and drink all day. And so we're creating more. Some people don't even know where Caymanas Park is. But after the World Cup and we're doing all these things, people are going to see it. They say that it's a safe place to be. They will come out. In terms of simulcast, the reality is that live local racing is still losing money. It will always lose money until we fix the horse population issue. Yeah? Based on the plan that I think Solomon and his team have, if left just up to us alone, it will be fixed in about 5-6 years. If the government sells us the place tomorrow morning, it will be fixed in 2 years, right? Which is why we're saying, sell us the place, we can accelerate the pace at which we can fix the place. I mean, if we get it tomorrow and put in the necessary investments, you could move the race days to 100 race days, 120 race days, right? Theoretically, you could have racing every day if you had a horse population of 5,000, right? Because you have enough horses to race every day throughout the year. And we have the temperature to do it. And Solomon is probably kicking me now because I'm giving away part of the secret, right? A lot of the other racetracks across the world only open for certain times of the year because they don't have the temperature and the weather that we have to go straight through. Yes? They don't have the support that we have. So live horse racing is losing money. Simulcast is profitable. It is how we pay some of the bills at Caymanas Park. And the export of those races as well is an opportunity. And some other areas. So what we've basically been doing is, as a promoter, we have had to find other revenue streams to subsidize the losses on live horse racing, right? But the key point is, once we finally get harmony with all the stakeholders and they understand and appreciate the reality that we are not here just to pay their bills, right? I think you'll have something more sustainable, and it's a quicker we'll get to a profit in live horse racing and ultimately more race days.
Thank you for that and the invitation, Mr. Chair. One last question. Mr. Chairman, Hevo Cash Money Wallet. I have noticed that whenever there is a launch of these money wallets, nothing is said about the list of merchants that uses this technology, or whether we have sufficient and efficient broadband technology for its use. The BOJ, governor, and our leaders cannot hold up their money wallets and display same. Why is this so? And what are the charges to the consumer for the use of these money wallets?
Lancel, I know you as a soft-speaking person. Why are you shouting?
My apologies, Mr. Chairman.
So I start by saying I can't tell you why the governor and the people in charge can't show their own wallet. I can say to you, if you ask me come next month, I can show you mine. The reality is that I can't and I will not speak as to why other people are not successful in what they're doing. That's their responsibility. What I can say to you, we have a very good plan. We have a very thoughtful plan. We are very clear in what we need to do. Today is not the launch of the wallet nor EvoCash. Today, as shareholders, this is a closed meeting with our shareholders. If you go out and tell somebody, fine. I mean, I encourage you so to do. But the actual launch you will see in time. By the time you have the launch, we would have concluded or at least started the training to answer those questions that you have. So if you notice in the ads that you saw today, what you're seeing that it's a MasterCard certified card. What that means is wherever in the world you travel and you see the MasterCard logo, you can use that card. So even though you have Jamaican dollars on that card, if you go to Japan, they will transact in yen and do the conversion. If you go to Paris to, go on jet set to the thing, they'll convert it. You pay in euro, they convert it, and you're good to go. So anywhere in the world you go with the card, it can be used. That's one. Two, you're going to see the multi-link logo on it. What that means is that anywhere you see an ATM machine that's hooked up to the multi-link network, which is all of them, 850, you can use the card there. And then the other thing you would have seen on the ad is that there are going to be select SVL locations. It won't be every SVL location, but it will be quite a bit of SVL locations because it's in the SVL retailers' positive interest to have the cash in, cash out logo here, right? And it's beneficial to all. So the point is that we have a very clear plan, we have a very clear strategic rollout. We're very clear about who our customers are, and we're very clear on how to acquire them. So, more or none.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome, Lanza.
Mr. Chairman, Livingston again. Back on Caymanas.
1 second, Livingston. The ladies before gentlemen.
Go ahead. Make sure go ahead.
Hi, sorry. I was a bit late.
Name?
Oh, Davia Madana, shareholder.
So you just a smile and talk.
I wanted to know, I'm not sure if it was said before, but
yes.
I wanted to know with the new money wallet, I know that it's just a pre-interest, right? When everything is complete and launched, would it be available on the Jamaica Stock Exchange for investment as well?
No, not the card itself. You can always buy shares in Supreme Ventures. So Supreme Ventures shares are traded on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Oh, so you don't have a separate entity for Evolve?
No, not for Evolve.
Okay.
Not at this point in time. It's a good idea, though. So what you can do is get your Evolve card, spend as much as you can, and the profits that are made there will go to the bottom line for SVL.
I thought you would be like, Scotia and be on the, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but Scotia's card is not on the exchange. Scotia is.
Scotia is, yeah.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, Livingston again. As a business, we love business still now, but hear me out back with Caymanas Park. Sometimes you have spent...
Livingston, you behave like you don't know me for 20 years.
We know a long time.
Livingston, I know you from you were 20 pounds lighter.
Yeah. All right. We love business still, but as a shareholder, the government, I think you have to have a round table talk. Sometimes you have to put more money on the board to see if you can get the Caymanas up from the government. Sometimes you have to bribe them and say, boy, this is some Supreme Ventures. We want to see if we can get Caymanas Park for Supreme Ventures to do certain things because we want to make some money for Caymanas Park. Sometimes you have to bribe people,
Well, what I'll say to you, Livingston, and the other shareholders here, anytime you see your political representative lobby on our behalf, I mean, I have said publicly that we can identify 100 million US, that's $16 billion over 10 years, to improve the park. Improving Caymanas Park and the vision we have for Caymanas Park is not just to benefit SVL. It benefits the stakeholders at Caymanas, but more importantly, it benefits the people of the country, right? Because what the park will look like, we can carry in significant foreign direct investments that would benefit the community that is there. There's over 300,000 people in Portmore, so there's a lot we can do. But as I said, just like I made the plea, Melissa was a challenge, right? But as big a challenge as it was to SVL, it was a bigger challenge to the government, right? So when they get around to it, I mean, we're willing to have the conversation.
Yeah,
Minister of Finance is aware that we are ready, and we await her when she gets to the table.
Yeah, I know so she will get more dividend, proper dividend if we no control.
Correct.
All right.
Thank you, Livingston. Any other question?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I am Natasha, for AGM.
I wish I could have borrowed your dark glasses because the light them I can barely see. Natasha, what's your last name?
Go AGM.
Sorry?
Go AGM.
Oh, you spell that because they're recording, you know. So you spell the last name, please.
I'll spell it for them. I have a dream and also a vision that I'm going to win the lotto and the super lotto.
When I win the lotto, I got more fun, Moko.
So
Stop selfish, okay.
So my concern is, how will you transfer that money to me?
If you're on the card?
Anyway, whatever way.
Okay,
Cash,
so
straight. Everything, will I get everything once?
so it's interesting you ask that question. We actually had a Super Lotto winner that used our online portal to buy the ticket.
Yeah.
And that Super Lotto winner was credited, their digital account was credited with the proceeds from winning that, right? In terms of what you get, the government has a bet winnings tax, and that is deducted, and you get everything else if you win.
So I get everything else all at once?
Yes, ma'am. That's why you see them dress up like rabbit and all sort of thing. You get everything one time. We actually, I think the highest, Debbie, Stefan, I think the highest winner was what, 440 million?
Because
$540 million.
Because someone was saying you don't get everything one time, you get it like every year you get a piece and another piece and another piece.
No, as a matter of fact, remember the Super Lotto is a regional game. And one of the biggest complaints is that Jamaica win it too often. So, you know, and then how it go, at one point, the people at Kingston are burn out everybody else because there's only people in the country that win. Then now the people at Kingston are win, the people in my country I say, boy, it's not right because only people at Kingston. But everybody going to be a winner at some point or the other.
Yeah, I need to be a winner.
No problem, darling. I'll pray with you.
All right, pray for me.
God bless. Any other question? Okay, I know we've exhausted all questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we have concluded the formalities of the annual general meeting. However, there is still more in store for you. For our shareholders and guests, staying true to our mission of making winners every day, we will now conduct the draw for the Second Chance Supreme Scratchers tickets. Remember, if you have a non-winning ticket, write your name and your contact number at the back of the ticket and drop it in the box provided. I will give you 2 minutes to get your tickets in the box if you have not done so yet. If you're wondering what the grand prize is, one lucky shareholder will win $10,000 off any utility bill using the Evolve Bill Pay at Supreme Ventures. Hear that sound like it can go against the light bill. So 120 seconds down to 110.
We have a winner.
Simone Spalding.
When we win the lotto. Present it to her, okay. Go in the middle.
Yeah, I'm going to talk first.
Oh, sure.
All right, so Miss Spalding has won herself a basket full of Evolve products and also $10,000 courtesy of FinTech, Bill Pay, Evolve Pay products. For the $10,000, it will expire on or before the 30th of June 2026. You are able to pay any of your utility bills, so that will be JPS, Digicel, NWC, or Flow, through any of our Supreme location island-wide. Thank you.
My girl. As we celebrate the lucky winner of Evolve Bill Pay giveaway, we invite everyone present today to celebrate the start of our 25th anniversary with a treat. We look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you. If you don't want your cupcake, you know where you can give it to, right? Gary Peart. Thank you all. Enjoy your day.